A tornado flew around my room before you came. Excuse the mess it made. It usually doesn't rain in Southern California, much like Arizona. My eyes don't shed tears, but boy they pour when I'm thinking about you. Oh no, 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 I've been thinking about you. You know, no, no.
unspoken echoes of Queen Marika linger here as well. Shall I share them with you? Very well. In Marika's own words, my lord, and thy warriors, I divest each of thee of thy grace. With thine eyes dimmed, ye will be driven from the lands between. Ye will wage war in a land afar, where ye will live and die. Well, perhaps that might serve you in lieu of a maiden's guidance. Shall I turn your runes to strength? Let my hand rest upon you. For but a moment, share them with me. Your thoughts, your ambitions.
Finally, it is returned to its rightful place. The stolen Hallowbrand of the exalted noble. And now, I must bid you goodbye as well, though I ask you deliver this message to the Round Table Hold. I am Fia, deathbed companion, hark Round Table. Disturb not the death of Godwyn, the exalted. We who humbly live in death, live in waiting, to one day welcome our Lord. What right does anyone have to object? Our Lord will rise, the Lord of the many and the meek.
You've received the wisdom of the two fingers, have you not? Then, just as promised, I bid you welcome. As a true member of the Round Table,
Look like a proud
I
warrior
am
with a
known
turtle
as
shell.
Gideon Ofnir. As a tarnished who wishes to stand before the Elden Ring and become Elden Lord, I am accumulating knowledge. To be all-knowing. You now
So I
belong
started
to
my
a select
channel to
group
come
of
here to get
fellows.
some knowledge from this man.
As such, I ask that you remain constant.
You're right there with knowledge, check Elden. It's my toast in the background.
Then as your fellow, allow me to divulge a little knowledge. The inheritors of the great runes, the shard bearers. We of the Round Table know the location of 5 of them, including the one you defeated. Godric the Grafted, Lord of Stormvale. General Radahn, who fought Melania and her rot to a standstill in the
Go.
Caelid Wilds.
I want to know more about that
Praetor
dude.
Rykard, Lord of the Volcano Manor of Mount Gelmir. Morgoth, the Grace-Given, Veiled Monarch and Lord of Lane Dell. And Renala, Queen of the Full Moon, ruler of Rhea Lucaria's Academy. You'll still be after more great runes, won't you?
See if I need to. So know a bigger case of in the case of other sort of stuff, in the case of the lore and this sort of stuff, and get bigger insight. So maybe when I do things in this game, it feels a bit more warranted and needed. Because I'm not gonna lie, like it's not technically bad. And I know since these games and multi-case of games are technically like this, but this game doesn't really pack you in the heart or mind to really give you a reason to keep going.
Godric the
Stuff.
Grafted, Lord of Stormvale. Despite being the blood of Godfrey, first Elden Lord, he's a grotesque old fool grasping for power. His castle lies upon the cliff to Limgrave's northwest, but I suspect you know that well enough already.
Yeah. Faced him, a barbaric woman that was
Red Lion and Scourge of the Stars is a ferocious warrior. He fought Melania and her rot to a standstill in the Caelid Wilds to Limgrave's east. And now Caelid has been engulfed by the Scarlet Rot. Even approaching the region is no mean feat. I've heard survivors of Radahn's army are still in the wilds, staving off the rot with fire. And if it's true, I suspect Radahn is still there as well, in Caelid. Though, I doubt he much resembles his former self anymore.
Okay, the man got stage 50 brain cancer. I'm glad we met him and we got multiple cases of lore and understanding about him. He's such a very interesting fellow. This 25 to damn near 50 feet big ass Goliath standing so tall in the reign of glory. Even in the cases of his defeat / tentacle draw, whoever this Melania is, he still represented a ferocious means because of the fact that even in the senses of him pretty much being damn near dead, he still was alive and still hold up to being who he was and had his little horse and was staying with the horse. And then for different counts and different pretenses and sense of how people insinuate the case of his time, he's not the same, but he still reckons who he is. So he's not truly dead or down out. Who he is you know, changed.
Ragard is the lord of the Volcano Manor on Mount Gelmir. He is a ruthless justiciar who commands a company of inquisitors, reviled for his serpentine demeanor. The volcano, Mount Gelmir,
So you got like snake pet?
lies in the west of the Altus Plateau, the realm of the Erd Tree. It was the stage of the most appalling battle in the entirety of the Shattering. Rygard has committed the grave sin of blasphemy, marking himself as an enemy never to be forgiven.
So like a tyrant? That's interesting. I know more about a lot of these people and get Beric's insight and everything to the lore, but this man giving us a great deal of knowledge. He says 17, and I think means since having like a snake form pet, or aligned with the fact that he is a snake form of bringing for himself. Because when you say snake demeanor, you saying like the man's like half snake, or you mean like in the sense of example / joke sense that because this man Rykard is a dictator or tyrant, he replicates himself as a form of snake in comparison, because that's what he brings himself to in the same sense of doing stuff, because he holds so high in weight, but since he's blasphemous and does the delusional case stuff and probably lies for to go ahead and pull power, he's a snake, he a rat, he a cop-out person when he's doing stuff. Much makes sense. But I'm still so infatuated and enamored with Radahn's glorious form of power and what he does and his peakness and what he brought to the table. And I really want to get more in the sense of that lore. And I really like all the stuff that comes with this. I also want to say I'm not going to say drip. Look at that axe built like case of Thor in the case of body, but then rocking with the straight extreme speed revolving Kratos with you with a vibe the next, you know what I'm saying? I also like to change. You kind of reminds me like a barbarian version of Beowulf, Tusk from Killer Instinct. Remember the design very well, and then along with case of Magi from For Honor. Not entirely, but still striking as a good, proud barbarian and warrior with the shell mixed with the axe like Thor.
Is Lord of Leyndell, the capital city. It lies at the foot of the Erd Tree, in the east of the Altus Plateau. But the Two Fingers forbid us from venturing there, until we've acquired enough great runes to repair the Elden Ring. Set your sights elsewhere for the time being. The Veiled Monarch can wait.
Morgoth sounds like Morgoth. So Morgoth was just a clone. Renala, woman not far the Academy.
Lies to Limgrave's north, towering over the mist-laden lands of Liurnia. Renala is queen of the Carian royals, who govern the Academy. But Renala herself is no demigod. Her beloved Radagon left her to become Queen Marika's second husband, taking the title of King Consort. The Great Rune dwells within the amber egg that was Radagon's gift to her.
Interesting. Just in a sense, there's Radagon is the dude with the red hair behind me near the case of that Elden Ring painting. Second Elden Lord. Is he dead? Because Morgott is the king of Lindell, so I don't make him Elden Lord, make him the third Elden Lord. Who he the son of? I mean, if Godfrey's seed can look like Godric, who looks deformed, does that make Morgott his son too, like a seed form? I probably sound like the most noob, ignorant motherfucker on this lore, but it's confusing because he's not giving me a straight line of like this pantheon of like gods to demigods. Not like strongly forward, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's not stringing together in this instance. But then I fought more guys, so he sent off a clone to go and best me, but then I fought that motherfucker, ran up to the different outer lands of where that is, and so possibly he'll be strikingly different / run a bigger case of challenge when the time comes. So probably when I have enough skill, runes, and all the cases, different things to fight, I'll do what I need to do because I'm on my general noob shit. You know, I've been rocking very good, you know what I'm saying? I've been strong in case of I need to fight and fighting different and rocking with the case of my axe and doing things. But then he gonna tell me about Nefeli, the barbarian woman that I fought with over at Stormvale fighting against Godric, so that's interesting. But Renala is also the mother to Rani. And this man Radagon looks similar to Radahn. I'm gonna take a guess that Radagon is the father to Radahn, and Radagon was with Renala. So that makes Radahn maybe the big brother or big little brother to Rani. But what type of fucking breast milk, what type of fucking sperm mixing the power and genes made Radahn be that big? Like, when he was born, was he born that massive? Was he born without fucking legs? Like, it's so much shit, it's boiling my mind. Like, the creativity in this is ridiculous. I clap it up. Like, a cool case of lore is just packed together with all the same sense of other stuff. It's just interesting to think about. Because a powerhouse like Radahn being born and resuscitating the power of someone like Radagon is interesting. And then it's also interesting because a little sense of how Radahn's sister looks kind of similar to that one painting of Godfrey in her case, so it's interesting to take that in consideration. Talk about Nefeli now. But I also want to mention that in the concept of a barbaric case fighter,
I understand you've been speaking to Nefeli. She's my daughter. I took her in when she lost the guidance of grace. Though
has that even happened?
Wielding barbarian, her youthful credulity suited my purposes, so I put her to work. Do not hesitate to employ her, should her services benefit you. Despite her looks, she is more than capable in the press of battle.
Well, I know that well. That's a beastful woman. Appreciate the knowledge, bro.